And I believe we are live.
So live.
Oh, look at that. We already have people on. Hi, cool. Welcome, everybody. Be sure to say hi so we know who's on. And so today is Sunday, September 9th. I'm Lynn Huber.
And I'm Richard.
This is Richard. And today we're going to talk to you about how even if you're shy or even if you're introverted, you can build a huge Avon business. In fact, this is going to sound counterintuitive, but people who are shy or introverted actually do better at it. And so if you're shy or you're nervous about doing this, trust me, you are in the right place because we are going to help you get over that. So let's see. So we have people on. I can see that people have liked it, and several people have liked it. Be sure to say hi so that we know you're on. I am going to share my screen. Okay, so now you should be seeing my blog. So anyway, welcome everybody. This is my blog, onlinebeautybiz.com. This is where I do most of my training for my own team as well as anybody else who wants to learn. We are available to help anybody learn, and that's why we do these Facebook Lives. My team is invited to these lives, and you, if you're not on my team, are invited to these lives. So this is my training for you. So, hey, Ashley, welcome.
Hey,
Happy
Ashley.
to see you here. So on my blog, if you can search for anything. If you're brand new to Avon, you'll want to click on Getting Started up here, and it will walk you through steps to get started and basic training. But if you ever have something you're not sure what to do, you can go down here and search for it by clicking in the search. Just to give you that heads up, we've done this a couple of times, but you may or may not have been on it. If I go like this and I change my screen to look like a cell phone, so this is what my blog would look like on a cell phone. Obviously, it doesn't have a right column, but if you scroll all the way down, there's about 6 posts or something like that. And then you will get to, you can sign up for a newsletter here. And if you sign up for our newsletter, you're going to get my, hi, Tiffany, welcome.
Hey, Tiffany.
If you sign up for our newsletter, you'll get our my best recruiting flyers. You'll get a link to be able to download those and labels. And then below that is the search. So let's go back to, whoops, I want to go back to full screen. Let me get back. Sorry about that. Toggle tools, go back to full screen. There we go. Okay, so now if you're on a computer, here's the sign up for the to get on our email list so that whenever I create a new post, you'll be notified, and then you can search. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to search for shy, because then you can find this article, Why Really Shy People Can Be Amazing in Their Avon Business. So this could be someone who's shy, someone who's not comfortable talking to people. It could just not, you might not even be shy at all, but you might be new with your Avon business. And maybe being new, you're not comfortable talking to people yet because you've never been in a job where you've done that. Or there's all kinds of reasons why you might be uncomfortable talking. People are either extroverted or they're introverted. And so if you look at us, I am introverted, Richard is extroverted. And that might surprise you because I'm introverted, but yet I do trainings, I teach, I run meetings, I do all these things. But introverted doesn't mean you're not able to do that. What it means is that you get your energy from being alone. So if I'm on, I can be on. I can set myself and say, okay, you're going to run a meeting now, you're going to be on. Or, okay, you're going to go out prospecting, you're going to be on. But I don't get my energy from that. So after I'm out and I've done that for a while, I need to be home and read a book or watch TV or be on my computer alone or whatever. I just need to be more alone because that's where I recharge. Whereas Richard, he's the total opposite. If he was home alone, he would probably go stir crazy. He wants to be out and about with people. So he gets his energy from being with people. That's really the difference between introverted and extroverted. And so, yes, I can be on. I can go out prospecting like with the best of them. I can be amazing at prospecting. But you know what's funny? If I leave the house knowing that I'm going prospecting, then I'm great. But if I leave the house to go shopping and go buy something or whatever, you probably will never see me offer an Avon brochure to somebody because I'm not on. I haven't made that decision to be on. And so that's the difference. Whereas Richard, he talks to everybody. So if we're together, typically I'll end up talking to them and I'll end up giving a brochure, but it's because Richard's being friendly with everybody. He talks their head off. And I'm like, oh, they don't want to hear from me. They're just a checker. You know, they're just a cashier or whatever. They're checking me out. They don't want to know. They don't want me asking them personal questions, but he's all over them. So Facebook is being crazy. It keeps pausing. Sorry about that, Ashley. Yeah, I don't have any control over the feed. This is Facebook Live, so it will be recorded. Facebook records it, and it will be available after. So hopefully it doesn't end up dragging too much. Hopefully it clears up. But anyway, hi, Nikki. Welcome.
Hey, Nikki.
So that's really the difference between introvert and extrovert. But you know what? You can be an extrovert and still be shy when it comes to talking about your Avon business. Richard was a lot like that. He's better, a lot better now, but he talked to anybody about anything except Avon. And because you know, maybe you're just not comfortable yet. You started this new business, you're not comfortable broadcasting about your business, but you're more than happy to talk about everything else, squirrel, whatever, you know, but not about my business, not about me. So, or you might be like, look at me. Extroverts are more like this. Look at me, I'm important. Look at me, but they won't talk about their business. So that's kind of really the difference. And but the cool thing about being an introvert, if you are, is let's see, first off, before I go there, what else did I say? So an extrovert can depend on their own skills and charm and personality, which isn't really duplicable. But you know, learning systems is duplicable. And somebody who's an introvert or who's shy or who's not so outgoing, they can work a system. And that's what's cool. That's what makes our business successful, is being able to work a system. So introverts are more likely to duplicate because they're willing to use that system. So sometimes introverts will see leaders up on stage making all kinds of things happening in their business. They'll be, you know, their leaders will be being called out. And an introvert will start thinking, oh, I can't do that. I'll never be able to do that. But the thing is, they can. Absolutely. And what's really funny is I know most of the people on stage. I've been around Avon a very long time, and I've made friends with a lot of them. And a lot of them are introverts. A lot of them are not overly friendly. They're not. I mean, you might reach out to them at a convention or something, and they might be shy, and you're thinking they're stuck up. But the truth is they're shy, even though they might be making millions of dollars. Okay? I mean, that's really important to remember, because the reason that an introvert or someone who's shy or someone who's more quiet, the reason that you can do what they did is because you're more likely to follow the instructions. You're more likely to use the tools and follow a system. And typically, introverts are not really shy. They just don't like talking to a lot of people or being the center of attention. But an introvert can still be a strong leader when they just follow the system and let the tools do the talking. And hi, Tracy. Two Tracys. We have two Tracys on. Hello. Welcome. So building your business isn't about personality and charisma. You need to be friendly, of course, you know, but you don't have to be that person that just can talk to anybody. That, in fact, sometimes the person who can talk to anybody will actually put people off. So, I mean, it's a plus. Don't get me wrong. If you can talk to anybody, you're going to be successful for a lot of reasons. But if you're not that person that can talk to anybody, you can still be successful. So, but instead of trying to play the personality game, you still have to be willing to talk. You have to at least be willing to open your mouth. But instead of, hey, join my business because blah, 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 be the pointer. Point to a tool. Point to whatever. Would you like an Avon brochure? That's the best tool we have. And that's the tool I use the most. In fact, I buy a lot of brochures, a lot, hundreds and hundreds of brochures. So would you like an Avon brochure? Now make sure your brochure has a sticker on the front that says, hey, have you ever thought about making extra money? Or Avon reps needed, only $25 to join, or, you know, make money for the holidays, or whatever on the front. And then on the back, make sure that you have your contact information so they can contact you. Also, you want to get, as much as possible, you want to get their name and their contact information. But at the very beginning, if you're afraid to talk to them, at least get out there and say, would you like an Avon brochure? And don't, you know, you're not gonna say, would you like an Avon brochure? You're gonna be like, would you like an Avon brochure? I don't know if you can even see I'm doing this, okay? You're actually gonna hand it to them like they're gonna take it. And if you do that, they'll take it most of the time. So it's just doing it. And then on the drawing slips, which I don't have here, but we have the ability, you can even search for drawing slips. And we have these drawing slips that you can download. And they ask really simple, like your name, address, phone number, email. And then they have 3 questions. First one is, do you already have an Avon rep, yes or no? Second one is, would you like to receive Avon brochures? And the third one is, would you be interested in learning more about selling Avon or making money with Avon? And what's really cool is you don't have to be, again, you're using the tool. You don't have to be the one that talking them, hey, how about you sell Avon? You can make so much money. You can do this, you can do that. It's great. Instead, you can say, would you like an Avon brochure? And then you can say, I mail my brochures. Would you like to get on my mailing list? You're offering them something. You're not asking them, right? You're offering them, I mail my brochures. And if they are interested, if they want to receive brochures, they're going to say yes, because you're not out to get them. You're not out to do anything. You're just saying, would you like me to mail them to you? So then you give them the drawing slip. They fill it out. And as they're filling it out, maybe you could say, have you ever thought about making extra money with Avon? And maybe, I put flyers in my brochure with more information about selling Avon. Those are the same flyers you would get if you signed up to receive emails from me on this page. You don't have to have questions. You don't have to have all the answers either. It's so easy. If they ask you a question, you can say, I'm not sure about that. I do know that it makes me feel good. It gives me energy. It's 100% guaranteed. So if it doesn't work for you, you can get your money back. So if they say, does this get rid of the wrinkles? You can say, I'm not, there's lots of people that love it. It helps me. I like the way I look with it, but it's 100% guaranteed. So if it doesn't work, you can get your money back. It's pretty simple, right? And then, or you can say, for me, Avon provides me the opportunity to be home with my daughter, or whatever it is that Avon is providing for you. I love not having to leave her with a babysitter so that I can make money. So those are like just really simple. Instead of you trying to convince them, you're just answering their questions, and you're just offering them the tools, such as, would you like an Avon brochure? Would you like me to mail them to you? And Avon provides 26 brochures every year, meaning you have 26 events to work towards. So each brochure is an opportunity to go back to the same customer, get another order, or get new customers and team members. So in this post, there's 2 links. Let me click on the bottom one first, is how to use your Avon brochure to build your business. And this one talks about how to dramatically increase your sales. This one talks about the more sales you want, the more brochures you're going to need to give out. If you want to sell $400, you need, this is how many customers you need, 16 customers. If you want to sell $1,000, you're probably going to need 40 customers. Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're afraid to ask for a name and phone number, you're not going to have as good a response as far as your sales right away. But if you're willing to at least give the books out, and if you're willing to do a lot more books, you will get the sales and you will get the recruits, as long as you have the stickers on it with more information, maybe a flyer in the book. The key is you either have to be willing to talk to them, or you have to be willing to do more. So if you're really afraid to get a name and number so that you can follow up, then you might need to give out a whole lot of books in order to get, I don't know the numbers, but like you might have to, if you're passing them out at grocery stores or as you go about your day, you might have to give out 200 books before you get one person calling you with an order. But if you talk to them and you get a name and number so you can follow up and so you can mail them brochures, you might get a whole lot more orders. You might only need to give out 10 books to get 2 or 3 orders. So it's really how much you want to do, how much effort you're willing to put in, but it works either way. You need to know that. So this talks about, how to use your brochures. If you want to, this kind of helps you figure out, okay, how much do I want to make? Then this is how many orders I need. So like at $2,500 in sales every campaign, probably need 100 customer orders at $25 each, or 50 orders at $50. And at this level, you'll be selling David H. McConnell, $65,000. At this level, you're probably making, it's hard to say, but you're probably making $20,000 a year, I'm guessing. So, it just depends. And when you're looking at these and you think 180 orders or 340 orders, like for instance, this 8,500 in sales, I actually used to sell at that level. Actually, I used to sell 6,000 a campaign. So I sold between these 2 levels. But we would put out like 16 to 1,800 brochures every 2 weeks. And we were selling at that level. And you're thinking, that's an awful lot. But you know what? You work in a full-time job, 40 hours a week to make the money that you make. I guarantee you this isn't going to take you 40 hours a week, and you can still make the money if you're willing to put that much into it. But I'm not saying you need to go that much. This is just talking about brochures and how to increase your sales. So going back to this shy thing. Okay, so part of the thing about being shy is you've given them a book, you've maybe gotten them on your mailing list. Yeah, Nikki says, let me just go back a little bit. So Nikki says, yes, it's a person's natural reaction to take something that's handed to them. You're absolutely right, Nikki. When you pour a bottle, a lotion bottle over their hand, they will put their hand out. Seriously, she's right. If you take a bottle of lotion and like you're going to squeeze it, I guarantee you they're going to put their hand out to get it. And so you're spot on, Nikki. Thanks for sharing that. So obviously, if you can get a name and number, that's the best thing. If you and you know what? I don't always get a name and number. It kind of depends on their reaction. When I offer them, would you like an Avon brochure? If they take it like I'm putting them out or something, then I'll just walk away and let them have it, and that's it. But if they act interested or if they act engaged or they, oh yeah, I love Avon, then I'm going to say, would you like to get on our mailing list? We mail our brochures. And people are open to that because you're being 100% honest with them, and they'll fill out the form. And so once I have that form, now I'm going to put them on my mailing list. I'm going to use Campaign Mailer. So if we click on this post here, we teach how to automate things like follow-up. So one of the things I do to automate my business is every single person gets a brochure in the mail. I use Campaign Mailer for that, and there's a link to it here. And even if they live next door, I put them on my Campaign Mailer, because then I know that everybody gets a book, every campaign. Excuse me. Everybody gets a book, every campaign, and I don't have to worry about it. That's how I know. And it's really inexpensive. It's way less cheaper, it's way less expensive than if you were to mail them yourself. Seriously. I mean, like if you mail a brochure yourself, it's like $3 to mail it in the mail. And if you use Campaign Mailer, depending on how many you buy, you can mail as little as one, and it's still cheap to mail it. But it's like around $1, between $1 and $1.
$1 and a half.
Yeah, $1 to $1.50, and that includes the brochure, so you don't have to buy the brochure. So that's included in the price. So now I've got them. I've got their information. I've got them on my email list. Okay. Well, the most important thing to make you be successful in your Avon business is follow-up. We have heard this over and over again. Follow-up, follow-up, follow-up. It's the most important thing in your business. People will take your book. They'll be reading it wherever. I mean, they might be in the bathroom reading their book, and they can't call you right now, but maybe they turned over the pages. Or maybe they're reading it in bed, and they turned over the pages, and they can't call you right now. And so they lay the book down, and they forget all about it, because as soon as they lay it down, they go to sleep, or their kids come run up to them, or whatever. The next thing in their life is happening, and our worlds are so full these days, they totally forget about that book. And if you just make that quick reminder, they're going to go, oh, yeah, I do have an order. Let me grab the book. So now I do reminders, okay? Now, here's what's cool. Using a system, you don't have to personally call them. You don't have to say, hey, this is Tracy giving you a call to see if your orders, if there's anything you want. You can. Absolutely you can. Or you can text somebody. Hi, Bonnie. Welcome. Hey, Bonnie. So, but you also can use a system to do that. And you know what's cool is I did an event this weekend, yesterday, at Valley Fair Mall, and we had a lady come by our table who we met at Valley Fair Mall a couple of months ago, and she is on my system. She's a customer, and she buys from me, and she gets our system, that she gets my pre-recorded text messages and my emails and the book in the mail. And she said to me, I love your system. So that was really cool. That was really cool to get that. So basically we mail the brochures. So then I go through and I figure out, is their phone number a cell phone or a home phone? And if they're a home phone, I put them on dial my calls. And what I do is I pre-record. I actually have just recorded a message. It's just 30 seconds. It says, hi, this is Lynn, your Avon lady. Just a quick reminder, my order's going in on Wednesday. If there's anything you need, please let me know by Tuesday. And if not, no problem. Have a great week. And I send that out on Monday mornings at 10 a.m. And so, you've all heard these telephone solicitor calls. You pick them up and you just, I'm calling you about your student loan, right? Well, this one, maybe you might think it's a telephone solicitor call, but you know what? These are your Avon customers. They know who you are. You're not spamming them, and it's less than 30 seconds, and you're just saying, if there's anything you want, just let me know. If not, have a great week. And they love it. My customers love it. But I only do that with people that don't have cell phones, so they get that pre-recorded message. And here's my little what I say in that 30 seconds. And then for everybody else, which is 90% of my customers, maybe even higher, I use a company called Text Magic. And what this is I could put them in, I can upload them all up there with their phone numbers, and then I can create a text. And this one just says, hey, this is Lynn with Avon. Quick reminder, my campaign XX order is going in on Wednesday. If I can order anything for you, please let me know by tomorrow. Have a great day. And I text them out with using that service. It sends a group text, but it sends it to them each individually. So when they respond, they're not responding to a group, okay? It's like 4 cents a call, I think. 4 cents a text. It's well worth it for me. Sometimes they'll respond to that text and they'll say, this is what I want, and they'll give me their order. Sometimes they'll say, call me. They'll respond to the text and call me. Sometimes they say, no thanks, or I don't need anything this time. Thanks for letting me know. Most of the time they don't respond, but I get people. And so this is another thing I do. And then there's an article here about how I used Text Magic. But I work the numbers. So this talks about, as long as you keep your messages under 30 seconds, it's cheaper to pay for the points instead of the pay as you go, instead of buying a monthly plan, stuff like that. But so they get a brochure in the mail from me. They get either a voice or a text reminder that their order is due. Or if they want to place an order, then my order's going in. So I need to have it by Tuesday. And that's it. So I don't have to manually, I know that a lot of you, especially if you're new, a lot of you are afraid to call. They're like, I don't want to bother them. I don't want to call and bother my customers. But you're not bothering them because they're not expecting your call per se. But if you don't remind them, sooner or later they're going to pick up that brochure and go, oh, this is expired, and throw it away and not even remember that they marked the pages or what they marked in it. So you're doing them a favor because they want these products. They picked them out. They wanted them. And if by you reminding them that you're placing an order, you're doing them a favor because you're giving them good service so they know that they can depend on you and they can get the products they want.
Can I say real quick on that? I think it's important to make the calls because I think our society is going the wrong way. We've had several times this last week where we had issues with doctor's appointments or some other business stuff that we were doing. And the person was supposed to call us back. They never did. And Lynn went 2 days waiting for a call back from the doctor's office and never called. We finally had to call and push our way in. And then I had another issue with the service that we had done in the house. And they were supposed to get me back an answer. And the guy texted 2 days later. He sent me an email 2 days later. And at least he answered. But he started out with, oh, shoot, I'm sorry. I apologize. I was supposed to get back to you right away. So people don't mind that. People are busy now. And they really appreciate when they get a service. And people actually call back and want to help them. Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. You're not like a telephone solicitor.
No.
You're not calling them saying, out of the blue, saying, we can help you refinance your house, or we can, what are the things that they're calling about? We want to ask you some questions about your political, we're getting a lot of that right now.
Yeah, donate and all that.
Donate to the Red Cross or to the local thrift store or whatever. People, they don't want those kind of calls. But your call, just a quick reminder, seriously, you're providing a benefit for them. And I really have never had a customer get upset about it, ever. They love it. They actually almost love me doing in the years ago when I was selling 6,000 a campaign, I did, all of them were voice calls because that was like 7 years ago and not as many people had texts or cell phones. And so most all of those were voice calls, and nobody ever complained. They all said, a lot of them would tell me, you know what, I didn't even listen to your message. I just picked it up. I knew it was you. I hung up and then I emailed you my order, or I called you with my order. I didn't need to hear it, but thanks for the reminder. And nobody ever thought that I was putting them out. They sure never said that they were. They loved me. I got so many people thanking me for reminding them. And, back then when I was doing 6,000 a campaign, our orders went in on Wednesday, which I'm back to now. And I learned that I did this voice shot. I tried to do it on Saturday morning and I didn't get good response. And what I figured out is, it's a recorded call. So when you answer the phone, and the recording goes off, if it's a kid or a husband answering the phone, by the time the mom gets to the phone, the recording's over and they didn't get it. And so what I learned by moving my call to Friday instead of Saturday, and 10 o'clock is just the time I picked, and that's the time I use for all of my calls now. It just worked for me. But 10 o'clock, they would get that call, and if they were at work, it would be on their answering machine.
And kids would be in school.
Yeah, kids would be in school, so it was more likely to be on an answering machine than for somebody picking it up and being the wrong person. So, but it worked. Oh, what I was going to say was, so by Friday, my order would be due the next Wednesday. By Friday, I might have had $2,000 in sales, and then I would do my voice shot, and by Monday, I'd be up to $6,000. That's how big of a difference those calls make. It is huge, because if I wouldn't make those calls, I'd be willing to bet that I would have ended up at maybe 3,000. I wouldn't have been anywhere near the 6,000.
Yeah. Can I once say one thing too? When we started out, we didn't use anything. We didn't have systems or anything. We were just kind of in scramble mode in the beginning, or it was all new to us too. But when we started out, we were small, and we had 1, 5, 10, 20, 100 customers. But after a while, we knew we needed systems because we couldn't do it. We were both working 60 hours a week, and we're doing this part-time. We didn't have the time to sit down and call 100 people to remind them their orders. So we came up with systems. But the beautiful thing about having automating things and having systems is that it helps both personalities, because that's how we originally started here. We were talking about personalities. And an introvert or an extrovert, it helps either one. An introvert, it gives them a chance to just automatically get this stuff out of the way, and they don't have to be confronting people. But it also helps me, the extrovert, because sometimes I tend to talk too much. And so it helps me shut up, and I can just focus on what I need to do. Hand them a form to fill out, or, that's the thing, the beauty of it is that it automates it, and it helps both personalities get to what you want to get done, which is, get a book in a customer's hand and have them place an order.
And something I just thought of while he was talking, he's absolutely right, because the system helps you regardless of whether you're an introvert or an extrovert for different reasons. Mm-hmm. But another thing I thought about is I mail brochures even to all my online customers. So when I get an online order, they get added to my brochure list. Two things happen when you do that, because it's your job. It's your job to get people going to your website, right? If you want to make sales, if you want to make online sales, you need to keep them coming back. So by mailing a brochure, they're picking up a brochure, they're getting it in the mail, and they pick it up and they see things they want, and then they go, oh, I need to go order it, and they go on your store and they order. So it's kind of a reminder in a way, without actually reminding them. It's a reminder that, oh, I need some more of that skin cream, or, oh, look at that haunted house that's in this brochure. Mm-hmm. I love that. I think I'll order that. And so that gets them back to your website. So that's why I do, even my online customers get a brochure in the mail. People like to go through the brochure. They like to turn the pages.
Yeah. It's kind of like all the candy that's up at the check stand at the grocery store. Everybody knows it's there, but when they're standing there and they're just waiting in line, all of a sudden they see the candy and they'll impulse buy something. So that's what helps on having the actual brochure in their hand instead of just going online and looking.
Yeah. So I wanted to pull up Campaign Mailer. If you're not familiar with it, this is the pricing. We can click on pricing. And if you're mailing only one brochure, even if you're just mailing one up to 9, it's $1.49 each. And again, that includes the brochure. So you don't have to buy the brochure. If you're mailing more, the price goes down. So if you do 100, it's only $1.09 each. So it's really cost effective. And depending on how you work your business, and this may not work for you, if you're the type of person that you just work your neighborhood. Nikki asks, I think, when people order online, they are sent a current brochure too, right? Nikki, if you mean Avon sends them a brochure, Avon only sends them a brochure if they check the box asking for one. So I don't even pay any attention to that. If they order online, I add them to my brochure list.
But they have to check that. Most of the time they don't see it, so they order and they don't get a brochure.
Yeah, they don't always get one. Yeah. And even if they do, you want them to get them ongoing. You don't want to only have them get a brochure when they place an order. So I put them on my list. But so if you're doing 100, it's just $1.09 each. Okay, and if you're working your business the old-fashioned way, and that's totally fine, you can do that, and you're knocking on doors, and you have a neighborhood you work, or maybe you're just selling at work, or maybe actually the brochures almost work better if you're selling at work too, and I'll come back to that. But maybe you don't have a reason to need to mail them. That's totally okay. You don't need to do that. You can give them out. But for most people, this is something that could be really effective. And I go through my list and I purge it every now and then because you don't want it to get too big and you can't keep giving brochures to people forever if they're not ordering. So if they've gone about 2 months to 3 months without placing an order, I take them off my list. I take them off of campaign mailer. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is that always creates more sales for me immediately, because when I purge my list, a lot of the people I took off all of a sudden will place an order. I don't know if it's subconscious or what, but it works. All of a sudden my sales will really increase because they didn't get a book this time, so they ordered. So that's really cool. So this is campaign mailer. It's totally up to you whether you want to use it. The idea being, though, if you're working systems, especially if you're shy or you're not comfortable talking to people, obviously you want to get more comfortable talking with people. As you grow your business, you will, but that's okay. If you're not now, and even if you are comfortable talking to people, use the systems, make them work for you. So just checking. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on everything we went through? I know it kind of might seem like I went pretty quick. You can go here to onlinebeautybiz.com. And you can search for shy, and you can pull up this article, and you can see that in here. Okay. And while I'm waiting for somebody to see if they have any questions, I think we can pull up drawing slips. Using drawing slips for prospecting. And here you go. You can download it here. So just pull it up so you can see it. That's what the drawing slip looks like. So it has name, address, city, state, phone, email, and then just these 3 questions. And I call them drawing slips because that's what they've always been called. And it says on the bottom, you will also receive a complimentary subscription to our e-newsletter, because I put them on my email list as well. And on my email list, I remind people as well, saying, I'm placing my order on Wednesday. Is there anything that you want? And I also remind them the campaign is closing on Tuesday, on Monday, actually, and then as of Tuesday, the new campaign will be in effect online. So I do both. So Let's see. Bonnie says, I give out my books and some don't even call. What should I do? Bonnie, keep doing it. Keep doing it. I mean, if the thing is, again, are you getting names and numbers, and are you following up? That's probably the most important thing as far as what should I do. Yeah. Get their names and numbers and follow up. Do that quick reminder before your order goes in to see if there's anything you can get for them. You don't have to be it doesn't have to be salesy. It doesn't have to be pushy. It's just a, hey, customer service, I'm providing you a service. I'm placing my order on Wednesday if there's anything you wanted. Because you don't want them to call you on Thursday after you already placed your order, right? Because then you have to tell them they have to wait 3 weeks. So you're providing them a service by letting them know. And Nikki says, what about using Facebook Messenger instead of texting? Absolutely. If you are friends with them on Facebook, absolutely. There's no reason you can't use Facebook Messenger. You can even use the same text the same message, or you can, let me go back. You can, come on. It doesn't want to come up. So if we go back down to my
script,
how to automate things. And I have my little script right here. This is Lynn. Now, obviously, if you're doing a Facebook message, you wouldn't have to say, this is Nikki, your Avon lady. But, you could just say, hey, friendly reminder, my order's going in. And you can, tweak that however you want. Okay, so I hope that helps you, Nikki. So then we have Bonnie. Bonnie, I don't do the follow-up. Bonnie, that's exactly why they're not calling you. That's 100% why they're not calling you. Because in today's world, look at your own life. Every one of us is busy. We have 20 things going on at once, and we're having a hard time trying to get everything done. So just doing that quick reminder will make all the difference in your follow-up. I bet you'll see your business totally turn around if you start doing that.
Two quick things too about automating things. Lynn and I, as we grew our business, we kept trying to automate everything we could. The main reason being we didn't have enough time to do it. We didn't have enough time to put out more and more brochures each campaign, or time to make the phone calls or whatever. So it's just great if you can automate systems. And we've even had some of the top sellers in Avon tell us that you have to start thinking big when you start. They said, we mentioned them sometimes, our business wasn't very big yet. And they say, well, what if your business gets big? And when are you going to pick a time? When's the perfect time to pick when you're going to make your business automated enough so you can handle a big business? So you want to do that as soon as you possibly can. It may be cost effective, not a cost effective initially, but as soon as you can, you want to automate so that you can make it easier on yourself and grow a big business.
Yeah, actually, it was Lisa Wilbur that told me that, and she said you need to treat your business now as though you want it to be in the future. So if you want a big business, you need to act like it's a big business. You need to treat it like it's a big business. So that's true. But the other thing Richard just said, that it might not be cost effective. Well, here's the deal. If you only have 10 customers, it's not going to cost you that much to do this. If you have 100 customers, it's going to cost you more, but you have 100 customers. So really, it's cost effective no matter how many customers you have, because it's only going to cost you the number of people you're servicing. So it will grow. Your expense is going to grow at the same time as your sales, but you're always going to make more money. Maybe not so much in the beginning, but as time goes by, you'll be making more money than you're spending and systemizing.
I hope this makes sense too. I remember Vondell McKenzie, we were at a meeting one time, and she said that she was talking to somebody, and they were saying they wanted their business to be $10,000, $50,000. They wanted to earn that much a month. And she said, well, what are you doing? And they told her, and she said, well, your business will never be that big because you're running your business like $100 business. You're not running it like a $10,000 business. And that's the key to this, is that, it's hard in the beginning because you're trying to be cost effective. You not want to spend a bunch of money, but do everything you can to that you can project your business to be a $10,000 business, utilizing the funds you have, so you can grow it to that. Because if you're thinking small, you'll never get big.
Yeah, and we're not saying that you should go out and spend a lot of money that you don't have. We're not saying that at all. You're a business owner. You own your Avon business. You are the boss, the CEO. You're the beauty boss, and you should be evaluating what you can afford. But you do need to put some money back into your business in order for it to grow. And so Bonnie says, thank you so much. You're welcome, Bonnie. I think that you'll really find following up makes a huge difference.
Yes.
I have kind of dragged my team along with this follow-up, especially my leaders, and I have been pounding it into their brain. And they come back and they now are preaching it. Now they're saying, yes, Lynn's right. This is what I need to do. It's 100%. I would say follow up, other than you have to get the brochures out. Okay. You're not going to sell anything if you don't have a brochure. Follow up is probably the most important part of your entire business.
It's less painful to have an automated phone call that goes out that people are calling in and you're taking orders than it is to have you sit there at your desk wondering, I hope they order, I hope they order, I hope they order. I don't know about you, but it's painful time when I have those quiet moments or something I didn't do in my business to grow my business, and I worry about it in the back of my head. Whereas if you're busy and your business is growing because you're doing just the few certain things that you need to do to grow the business, and it just makes it so much easier.
So make sure you schedule all this into your calendar. If you sign up for Campaign Mailer, it's free to sign up, and you only pay for what books you send. But once you're signed up and you figure out, because we can order anytime during a 2-week period. So Campaign Mailer mails at different days of the week, depending on when you want it to get there. It takes like 2 weeks to go bulk mail. So you have to plan this ahead of time. But Campaign Mailer, once you sign up for which one you want, if you want your brochures to go out, like for instance, on a Monday or B Monday, or however you want it to go, Campaign Mailer will then remind you when your book orders are due. And every 2 weeks, you'll have to place that order and decide who you're going to mail those books to and send them and pay for them at that time. So it's not automatic. And then also you'll want to put in your calendar. So like I have it in my calendar that I place my orders on Wednesday. So on Monday, I schedule it on my calendar on Monday. Well, actually I schedule it on Friday to schedule it for Monday. Does that make sense? So on my calendar, I'm going to set up my voice shot to go out. My, I call it voice shot because I have called it that for so many years. My dial my calls phone message goes out. I schedule it on Friday for Monday. And then I also schedule on Friday for my text messages to go out on Monday. And I have them go out at 10 a.m. But see, depending on what day of the week that you place your order, you want to send that message a good 2 to 3 days before your order goes in. but schedule it on your calendar so that every other Tuesday or every other Thursday or every other Monday, whatever day you're doing it, that you get that stuff done. And it only takes 3 minutes to get it done. Once you have it set up, you can just like copy your text and just change the campaign. And it just is really easy. So just schedule it on your calendar. So let's see, I have into, okay, so Nikki, how far into, for example, campaign 20 will you start passing out 21 books? Well, they get mailed out quite a bit early. It depends on your order, when you place your order.
Yes.
I really strongly suggest you don't wait till the end of the campaign to place your order. Because you've all seen how the system can go down at the last minute and create all kinds of problems. But also, it used to be, I know, Nikki, you're brand new, and a lot of you might be brand new, but it used to be we had an assigned day that we had to place our order. And the truth is, my assigned day was the first day of the campaign, which started on Wednesdays. Technically, I guess it still does.
Yeah.
First day you can order.
First day.
So, like when our order went over, let's see, looking at the calendar, today is where are we? Today's the 9th. So the 4th at noon was when our campaign 19 order was due. So I placed my campaign 20 order on the 5th. So I know you guys think, oh, that's way too early. But I placed my order on the 5th. So then on the 6th, I immediately start giving out books to people and giving them out face-to-face. Although when I'm out prospecting, I use the brochure that's online. So right now 20 is online, so that's the book I'll be giving out. So like when we did our breast cancer event, campaign 20 is what's online, so that's what I'm giving out. Because on my brochure, I have my phone and my name, phone, and email, but I also have my website, and I have that welcome 10 code. Use welcome 10 to get 10% off your first order. So I want them to go, when they go online, I want them to see the right brochure, the right prices on the brochure they have. So it's kind of confusing. So if I give them out face to face, then they get the books right away, because my next order, my campaign 20 order, is going to be going in on the 19th. My 21 order is going to be going in on the 19th. So it depends on when you get them. But basically, as soon as you place your order, the day you place your order, then the next day you should be giving out your new brochures, if that makes sense.
Can I say something? We've developed a little route that we do it in doctor's offices and things. And so what I do is we place our order, our campaign 20 order went in on the 5th. And I usually give everybody a week. And so by next Wednesday, by the 12th, that's when I start passing out. I'll have all the 21 brochures passed out. I'll go and run the route and talk to all the ladies in the offices and the doctor's offices and hand out books then, because I want to give them at least a week. They've had over a week to get the 20 order in, and they can still order online there if they wanted. But to order for me personally, I wanted to get the books out in their hand, 21. So I get them out in the middle of next week, so they have a chance to look at it, and hopefully they'll get their order, because we have several of them that we have on our calls and stuff, so they'll know to call us.
So you give it to them basically right in the middle of
in
the
the middle
campaign.
of the
middle
20
of
the current campaign
yeah.
that's online. Yes.
So Nikki says, so basically you're going a week early. Well, depending on what you're doing, if you place your order on the last day of the campaign, so if your campaign 20 order, technically you have until the 18th to place it. So if you place your order on the 18th, your campaign 20 order, which I hope you don't, for a lot of reasons, I'm actually 2 weeks earlier than you, because I placed my campaign 20 order has already been placed. I'm working on 21 now, and I placed it on the 5th. So some of the reasons I mentioned, one is that if you wait till the last minute, the website could go down. Maybe if you're just selling, that's not a big deal. If you're in leadership, or if you're trying to reach a certain goal, or if you're trying to get, even like President's Club or something like that, it could hurt you, because your order could be late and end up in the next campaign. But also, things get out of stock fairly easy. And yes, Avon has new products coming in, but especially like the clothing and the holiday items and stuff like that, if you wait till the end of the campaign, there's a really good chance they're going to be out of stock when you order it. You have a better chance of getting your products if you order early. It doesn't have to be the first day of the campaign, but I would at least try to be more in the middle of the campaign and not the last day.
Another reason is the way we do it is, like right now, we placed our campaign 20 order on the 5th. And it takes a week now, close to a week. For some of you may be different because everybody lives different places around the United States. But because the orders for right now, for us and starting soon, will come out of Zanesville, out of Ohio, it takes basically a week. So we place our order on Wednesday the 5th. We don't get our order till Wednesday the 12th.
Yep.
And it works for me because what I'm doing is I'll be either passing out Campaign 21 brochures to the office, to the route ID, or I'll have the orders in, and all the orders I have will get a 21 book in it. So I can be passing the 21 books out to them and mentioning about anything, put a sample in there on the next campaign so that they'll have a couple days before the next campaign is due for us on the following Wednesday that they can look or try some of the new products.
Okay, I have a couple more
But that's
questions.
the system we do. I mean, everybody's different, but
Yeah.
but it works smoother for us because then otherwise I don't know. To me, I feel like I'd be 2 weeks behind.
You have to develop a system for you based on when you place your orders. And then Richard talks about our route. We actually have a route we built up with doctors' offices, and we don't mail those brochures. We take them. So we do the route every 2 weeks. We go into those offices, and we don't have to follow up with them because we're there to deliver their last order. So if they have a new order, we'll pick it up right then. Or them seeing us deliver them, will remember. That will help remind them because it's the whole office, right? Okay, so we have, let's see, Bonnie. Bonnie says, I have 2 on my team and they aren't working very good. How or what can I help them with? Bonnie, if we had the answer to that, we'd all be rich. First off, try to get them on our Sunday webinars. I think that would help.
Mm-hmm.
But really, the best thing you can do is keep recruiting and keep moving forward and set the example. The leader sets the pace, just like a pack of wolves. The leader sets the pace. If you're working hard, if you're out promoting and you're building your business and you're growing and you're recruiting and you're building your team, people will follow you. If you slow down, they will slow down. You are always going to go faster than they are, always. Yeah. So the best thing you can do, obviously, try to get them to come on our on our Facebook Lives on Sunday nights, and they can watch the replays. That would be helpful. But if they're not buying in, you can't force them to buy in. They're either, the best thing you do is just be excited, have lots of energy for your own business, and let them see what you're doing, and that will help a lot. And of course, you want to train them and you want to get them going and all that. But I'm talking about there's just really not some way to motivate somebody other than just being an example.
Yeah. If they don't live close to you, they can get on our webinars, and then they will be here and they could ask specific questions. So that would help them get excited or whatever. But the other thing is, if they live close, what we've tried to do with any of our team members that live close to us, if we have events or do anything out there, we try to get them involved too. We invite them to come because a lot of times somebody joins Avon and we just say, well, go get excited, go hand out some brochures. They don't really know what that means. I mean, it sounds really simple and it's pretty basic, but it'd be surprised. So many times we've had team members work with us. They'll come to an event and they'll work for maybe an hour at the event, but just in the first 15 minutes, they see how easy it is and how people aren't biting their heads off. If they just stand there saying, would you like an Avon catalog? Would you like an Avon catalog? Oh, I mail my brochures. Would you like to get on the list? And after 15 minutes, they're an expert. It's like anything we do here, anything that we don't feel comfortable with, if we do it for about a week, I bet you everybody would feel comfortable with it and it becomes second nature.
Well, and they watch us do it.
Sure.
If they're coming to an event, they see us do it and they see how easy it is.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all it takes. It's just being able to see how somebody talks to somebody.
Yeah. And otherwise, this is a tennis match. We say this all the time, but if you invite somebody out to play tennis twice a week, and every time you go out there, they don't show up, you can't hit the ball in the net and run over to the other side. They have to swing. They have to be there, and they have to swing the racket and hit the tennis ball back to you. And that's kind of like this business. If they aren't interested, next, unfortunately.
And the hardest part is when you have 2 people on your team. That's the hardest time. Yeah. Because if those 2 people aren't working, which most of the time, I'm going to be really honest with you, most Avon businesses that only have 2 people on the team, typically those 2 people aren't working. And that's not always true. Some people get, like, their friends join them or their family, and they all get excited and they do it together. But it's the hardest time because you have only those 2 people to focus on.
Yeah.
So the best thing you can do is just keep growing your business.
Yeah.
Something, I just went to this leadership training, and it was pounded into our heads, and I love it. This train is leaving the station.
Yeah.
Do you want to be on it or not? So this train, you ask your people, hey, we're getting excited. We're doing this. The holidays are coming, step up and sell Avon, do great, build your business. I'm here to help you. But if you're not going to step up, if you're not going to get on the train's still going to leave whether you're on it or not. I want you on it, but the train is going to leave whether you're on it or not. And you don't even have to say that to them. That just needs to be your mindset, because this might not be the best time for them. They might be just playing with an Avon business right now, and that's fine. You love them for where they're at. They're just playing with an Avon business. And as you grow and as you get bigger, they may get excited, or the holidays are coming. Fourth quarter is our biggest sales of the year, so they may get excited and they may turn on. But all you can do is keep looking for the ones that keep looking for more.
Yeah. What she was saying there too, just to add on to that, the best way to get 2 people who aren't working, to find 2 people who are working is sign up 2 more, or sign up 10 more. That's the best way to get some people. You're going to find people who want to work, but love them. And next.
Okay, so Bonnie asks, does it hurt to order more than 1 order in the same campaign? I typically try to only order 1 order a campaign, and the reason for that is you pay for shipping. So if you can get them all in 1 order, you pay less shipping because you only pay 1 time, right? So depending on the size of your order, the shipping can be anywhere from $7 to, I don't really know how high it can get, maybe 15 or something like that.
I think it's 13.
13.
I think it's
so
13.
If you place an order today and you have to pay $7, and then you place an order in a week and you have to pay another $7, you just paid $14 in shipping. But that being said, I absolutely will place an order if it's worth it for me. So if I pick up a new customer after I've already placed my order, and maybe they give me a $100 order or an $80 order, I want to take care of that customer because I want them to continue being my customer. I don't want to make them wait 3 weeks before they can place that order. So I make that decision on a case-by-case basis. But yes, I might place an order. Something else you can do, which I haven't done much of it myself, I tried it once or twice, is once you've already placed your order, if it's a $40 or more order, you can place it on your website as a customer. So create a customer account for yourself on your your Avon website, that not your back office, but your avon.com / whatever your ID is. And then you can ship it to yourself. If it's over $40, it's free shipping. So that's another idea that you can get products. But sometimes you just don't want to make them wait. And then I have reps that do big business that just don't want to, they just would rather place an order every Monday, and they know that way it keeps their business just going, and they like that, and that works for them. So whatever you find works. So Tracy, where do I find Campaign Mailer? It's campaign-mailer. I hope you can see that up there. campaign-mailer.com. Hope you can see that. It's just a dash, campaign-mailer.com. And my blog post,
it has a
I
link
have
to
a link to it right here, so you can click it right here. Okay, so who else? Sorry, just got on any words of wisdom for recruiting. You know what? This isn't really a webinar. Let me. By the way, hi, Crystal.
Hi.
Today wasn't really about recruiting, although it was a little bit. The biggest thing is get the drawing slips filled out. If you're out and about and you give somebody a book in the store or in the checkout or wherever you go, number 1, make sure you have a recruiting label on the front, and make sure you have a recruiting flyer on the inside. If you sign up for my list up here, you'll get my pack that has my best recruiting flyers and labels that you can use. Use the drawing slips, which I don't know if you saw that. You have to watch the recording maybe and go back, or you can search for drawing slips here, and you can download those, because the drawing slips ask, do you already have a rep? Would you like to receive brochures? And would you be interested in finding out how you can make more money with Avon? Sometimes just them filling that out, they'll go, and they'll put yes on there. And then you can ask them while they're filling it out. You can say, hey, have you ever thought about making extra money with Avon or whatever? But if they say yes, that's another way to get more people. Obviously, if you can, you want to talk to them. But it's just more just getting out there. It's getting
Yeah.
out and talking to people, because you're not going to meet them if you don't get out of your house.
Yeah, having the drawing slips is the best thing if you're going out recruiting. But another thing you could do if let's say you've made yourself a goal to hand out 5 brochures a day or 10 brochures a day, you could take sticky notes. Just take a yellow Post-it and put it on the front of each brochure. You're going to have these 5. You have a sticky note on each one, and you hand it out. When you hand it out to the person, they say, "Oh, I really like Avon. Well, can I get your name and number? Can you write it on the sticky note for me?" Boom, they write it on there. Then you have a way to contact them afterwards to follow up.
Yeah. So Crystal says she got disconnected, and you probably aren't going to see this. I don't know. It says, I got disconnected and can get back on, but I can't see or hear anything. I'm sorry, Crystal. I don't have any control over Facebook. Hopefully you'll still be able to come back and watch the recording afterwards. Replay. And Nikki says, I would wonder about beating the system. I was wondering about beating the system like that. Okay, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Is that about
Nikki,
placing an order?
Oh, Nikki, are you talking about placing an order on your eRep site? I know it works because I had a deal. I haven't actually placed orders like second and third orders that way, although I know a lot of reps do. But I did have a deal. I was trying to get to President's Club last year, and I was really close. And I offered a buy one, get one. So if you bought $100 worth of stuff, I would give you $100 of the same stuff. So like if you bought whatever you bought, I would duplicate your order.
If it was $100.
If it was $100 during that campaign. And I had one that had ordered online. And so I had to place an order to ship to her. And I placed it on, I placed it on my own account. I created an account. I went into my website and shopped like I was a customer, and I created an account like I was a customer because it's not tied to your back office account. And I did the bill to me and the ship to her, and it worked. The $100 went to her. So yes, if that's what you're asking, apparently you can do that. And I know a lot of reps do. In fact, a lot of reps will, if they have an add-on order for $40 or more, they'll do it that way so that they don't have to pay shipping. But you do want to place your regular order every campaign, because otherwise you won't get brochures. And if you don't get brochures, what happens? You're out of business, right? So you always want to place your regular order because you cannot order brochures as a customer. So anyway, I hope that helps. There you go. When you said placing the order. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Nikki, for clarifying. I think that's all the questions. We've been on almost an hour. I didn't intend to go this long. So if there's no more questions, then we'll just end it now. Thank you guys all for being here. I hope you found it helpful. And so we will be back next Sunday, the September 16th. We'll be back here at the same time, same place on Facebook. I look forward to seeing you. And in the meantime, if there's something you guys want to learn about, drop me a message on Online Beauty Biz Facebook page. Or, send me a message or whatever, and I'll see what I can do. Okay?
Yeah, and invite other people, or invite your team members that you like. One of the questions we had here, can't remember who it was now. But if you have people that want to know about things, have them get on here, because we're here to help.
Yeah, we are willing to help anyone. Yeah. We are one team. Avon is one team, one dream, right? There is enough to go around. There's plenty for everybody. So I am not one of those people that doesn't want to share my ideas.
Yeah, we don't have a crystal ball, but we've made enough mistakes to have one.
So Tracy, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. And Nikki says, thank you as always. Have a great night.
Thanks.
Okay, you guys. Thank you. Have a great evening. Talk to you later.